Our next game, guys, the Commanders lose a tough one to the Steelers, who they just find a way. It's honestly remarkable.
That was so ridiculous. That was such a stupid loss. I'm so annoyed at that loss.
Yeah. To be fair, you beat the Bears on the most miraculous play in the history of football. You're still 7-3. Still going to make the playoffs. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
The thing that was just frustrating for me is, like, look, we lose to and I'm with you. Like, we probably deserved to lose to the Bears. Like, it was a crazy play. But, look, we lost the first game to the Buccaneers. Okay, fine, whatever. It's Jane Daniels' first game. Bucs are a good team. Okay, whatever. We lose on the road to Baltimore. It's fine. Yep. Baltimore's got a good shot at the Super Bowl. We're playing against the defending MVP who's probably going to win another one. All right, fine. And we hung with them. Like, whatever. We lost by a touchdown, whatever. We can do. But this one felt like this is the game that we could have won. We easily could have won. I thought it was a first down. What did you guys think? You guys will call it true. I thought it was a first down.
Thought it was borderline. I think you got to defer to what the call is.
That's what they do. Yeah.
I think, to me,
I will agree. I will say that once they call, I will say that is that once they, for much as I was bitching about it online, I will say that once they made that call that it wasn't a first down, there wasn't enough there to overturn it.
That's the issue.
It wasn't conclusive enough. I will say, though, later at the game, at Football Night in America, at FNIA HQ, I was talking with Coach Tony Dungy, Hall of Famer Tony Dungy, Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy, Pittsburgh Steeler legend Tony Dungy, and I asked him, and he said, I thought it was a first down when I was watching it live. I thought they converted the first down when he was watching it live.
Well, here's the thing. If you were like a Vikings fan, then you would not feel any sense of injustice about that play.
Oh, no, 1,000%. And by the way, I think the Texans got jobbed. That was pass interference that should have extended the drive. The Texans got jobbed last night. They shouldn't have had to kick as long a field goal. And anyway, the refs have made a bunch of bad calls down the stretch to a lot of teams, not just my beloved Commanders.
My takeaway from this game, Connor, is, and this might make some people upset, Russell Wilson is a mirage. This is not real.
I agree.
He went 14 for 28. He was just throwing circus jump balls against the Jets the first time.
That's what he does.
And then he played against the Giants and was like, fine, but it's the Giants. They're not very good. And like 14 for 28 against the Commanders defense. Yes, he's throwing some touchdown passes, but this is not sustainable. He is fine. He's an average quarterback. Like I'm seeing people are talking about, like, does Russell Wilson belong in the MVP conversation? He's played 3 games. You know what Lamar Jackson is doing? Josh Allen, what they're doing?
Even Jaden Daniels.
Right, in the same
Even
game.
Jared Goff prior to last night.
Russell Wilson is in a top 15 MVP candidate.
I 1,000% agree with that.
He is fine. This is not going to continue. He's getting lucky at the moment.
I completely agree. I will say the pass to Mike Williams on the blitz was a brilliant pass.
Sure.
I got to give him credit for that. That was an awesome pass. I was super annoyed. I screamed something that I can't say on television when watching the game. I was just like, that's why we need Marshawn Lattimore. But I mean, that was a brilliant play and pass. Like, give him credit under pressure, just an absolute dime. But I'm with you. He overall does not look good. He doesn't get you a lot with his legs. I think he's getting lucky with the touchdowns. I think regression is coming. I think if I had Russell Wilson in a league, I think I would try to trade him. I would try to sell high a little bit because I think he is I would much rather have Jared Goff or C.J. Stroud, 2 other mid-tier QB2s that we talked about earlier. I'd rather have each of those guys the rest of the season than Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, is QB10 this week, and he's been like basically a top 10 fantasy quarterback in the 3 games that he started for the Steelers.
I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers than Russell Wilson. He's got Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson to throw to.
Yeah.
And the team doesn't seem like it's very good, which we'll get to at some point, I'm sure.
We will.
Yeah,
just a moment.
Throwing.
I will say he seems to have unlocked George Pickens as well. George Pickens, who makes some boneheaded plays, but also some brilliant plays as well. But
the most wild player in football.
I mean, it's just the.
Just trying to fight dudes.
Yes.
He's
the most wild player in
The tackle
football.
on the interception with a guy that didn't have the ball.
It wasn't a tackle. It was. It's time to brawl.
It was just like it was. Just
He knew that.
Like I'm going wrestle. I'm going wrestling moves as well. But since Wilson took over, he's got a 26% target share. Russ has kind of like an F it. George is down there somewhere kind of mentality, and he's talented enough that he'll come down with the ball more often than not.
Yep.
All right, guys. By the way, we're gonna find out more about this Steelers team. They're gonna play a lot of AFC North football coming up.
The reckoning is coming. And I
Ravens?
got nothing against the Steelers. I don't mind Russ, like whatever. He's got a hard deal the way he was treated, but there is a reckoning coming, and I think Lamar Jackson is going to deliver.
It's next week against Baltimore for sure.
All 4 of their next games are AFC North games. AFC North football is just different. Ravens at Cleveland, which we know their defense can compete. At Cincinnati, which the Bengals want to play a shootout. Would be interesting to see how he does in that situation. Then home to Cleveland.
Yeah, but after that, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Kansas City, Cincinnati.
They have a brutal.
What's their win
stretch.
total?
What are they
DraftKings.
now? They're 7-2.
Yeah.
I think it'd be like 10.5. Is my
Would you
guess.
take the under on that, given that schedule?
I think it's like 50-50 because they got the 2 Cleveland games, which they should take
I
care
think
of
they
business.
split.
Yeah, no, split
Probably-
is like the
they'll
modal
probably
outcome.
split, and they'll eke out one. Like they'll eke out one,
One of the
whether
tough
it's
ones.
Cincinnati
Steal
or one of
right.
the tough ones. Maybe they split with Baltimore too.
They always steal stupid games against
do.
Baltimore, like Kenny Pickett at quarterback.
Right, yeah.
So
So they probably split with Baltimore, split with Cleveland. Maybe they beat Philly. I don't
I
know.
think they're going to end up a 10-7 or 11-6 wild card. I think Baltimore will still take the division.
On the Washington side of things here, Matthew, quiet fantasy day for Jaden Daniels because he didn't run. And also the bobble in the end zone.
I mean,
could've been better.
Diamond Brown drops a bad one, but listen, I love Jaden Daniels, my favorite fantasy player, my favorite NFL player, but look, this was not a good game for him. Like he missed Luke McCaffrey, he missed a couple of throws that we'd like to have had back. He shouldn't have even been that fourth down to have that play because he missed a throw that same drive that would have extended it. And credit the Steelers because they limited his rushing quite a bit. Better days are ahead. They play Thursday night against Philadelphia. I think it's just a tough day at the office for Jaden Daniels. Similar to like Kyler Murray, who we talked about, Kyler Murray like 2 weeks ago just had a bad fantasy day, but ultimately played well. Not Jaden Daniels' best game, but I thought against one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. Commanders' offensive line really banged up, and they got even more banged up in this game. So he was just under pressure from, T.J. Watt and company. Better days are ahead for them. It's true, though, the Commanders desperately need a second wide receiver ultimately after Terry McLaurin. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.